You're listening to the Talkin Dads podcast, brought to you by You Suggested. Visit our social media sites, twitter.com/Talkin Dads, @mention us @Talkin Dads, facebook.com/Talkin Dads, instagram.com/Talkin Dads. If you'd like to support us, please visit our Patreon page, www.patreon.com/Talkin Dads.
Gross.
Welcome to the Talkin Dads podcast. This is episode 8. I think. Because I still have to edit the last two. I'm Mike.
You got John here.
And Earl.
Where is Lou?
He's on his way. He's on the bus.
Something about a bus.
Yeah, some kind of bus situation.
So this past weekend I just had my my baby shower. It was a Jack and Jill baby shower. The theme was babies brewing.
I had the honor of being invited to it. It was very wonderful.
Earl.
And the food was amazing.
I got a kick of the sign that said, "Oh, baby." That made me laugh.
Oh, baby. That was all Caitlin.
Yeah.
The lady can bake. She was a dessert queen.
She put together the entire dessert table. I sent the picture to Earl, too, to take a look at.
Yeah, the picture literally, like, I've been doing so well here since we moved in with my weight, and that picture actually made me fatter. Just looking at
That's pretty funny.
Before you knew it, you had handfuls of food that you were just shoving into your mouth and not even realizing it.
Like, it's a real thing. Like,
Where did you get these cannolis?
Oh, yeah. If you even think about carbs, like, your brain, your body starts adjusting your insulin levels. Like, that's scientific fact.
Yeah.
So looking at that picture, like, I was just done, just like Homer with a donut.
Yeah, you drew Earl back like 6 weeks of his weight plan.
Sorry.
I start running upstairs.
But I was going to say, just a little fun fact. I don't know if you saw his registry, though, Earl.
I did, in fact.
Did you notice there was one thing on there that they registered for that... Oh, so you do. I think
it was registered for without my knowledge, by the way.
Okay. Okay. But you did say that this was all her idea in the first place, too.
Yeah. She was totally against it from day one, and I trusted her opinion on it, and I thought it was,
Hey, I give you credit. You defended her.
I did. I defended her.
Husbandy thing.
If you remember, the end of the discussion last time was me going, "You guys are probably right. Whatever. I don't know."
And for you listeners out there that are maybe not sure what we're talking about the diaper genie. That was a pretty hot topic early on in our career here on Talkin Dads.
You ain't never had a friend in me. Fucking diaper genie. I can't believe it came. The funniest thing, I wasn't expecting it, so a lot of our stuff got delivered. And when that thing came in and I opened it up, I was like, unfucking believable. There it is. After all the time I defended your opinion on this.
At least you didn't have to pay for it. Like, at least somebody else bought it.
That's
so
true.
if you both decide that me and John are wrong and it's garbage, you're not out anything. That's true. All you have is an expensive trash can.
That's very true. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it made its way to my house after all that.
It's proudly in a centerpiece in the baby room.
I feel like it should be. Like, I feel like it should have a sign over it that says "Diaper Genie" and lights.
Like a LED, like neon light.
Seriously, like the scene from Aladdin, right? Where he's in the Cave of Wonders.
Oh yeah.
That's your nickname. You can name it the Cave of Wonders.
That's not. There's nothing. No wonder there. There's no wonder there. The Cave of Wonders.
The Cave of Wonders is brilliant name for a diaper.
Only
get in,
diamond
get out.
in the rough.
That's true. You'll never know what you'll find in those.
Oh God. Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. The one thing I found weird, the trash bag refills for that, though. Like, you have to tie a knot at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was kind of strange.
That makes it, I don't know, I kind of liked it, actually. I thought it was strange, too, at first, but having experienced a diaper genie type of object, it makes it a lot easier to empty out. It's a lot. It prevents you from accidental touching anything that might be in that receptacle.
Yeah.
And it's going to be super awesome after about a day.
Well, wait, don't you mean it's going to be super gnarly after a day?
I mean, whatever word you choose to go with, sir.
Well, gnarly meaning like that's disgusting, gnarly.
So how'd the rest of the shower go?
It went really well. People were extremely generous. I appreciate everybody's thoughtfulness and gifts. It was a nice haul. The one thing I was very happy about was the diapers, the amount of diapers that we actually got.
Oh, good.
So that's a really good thing. So Caitlin had a diaper raffle. It was a good idea. If you brought in a box of diapers, then you got a ticket for the raffle, which was like a bottle of wine and I forget what else, a beer bottle opener thing.
I think that was the other one.
She's the good one when it comes to this stuff. Me, I'm like, if I was gonna have a raffle, I'm like, you win more beer, but it's already open bar. That's okay. Have some more. So. But it went really well. It was really nice.
Yeah, the weather was great. You got your friends and family there.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd y'all have it at?
At a bar, a local
bar okay.
Tavern place. How would you describe it?
Tavern.
Tavern
pub.
It was nice because the theme was a baby's brewing. So,
you had it at the Winchester.
The Winchester, yeah. That gun's real. That's why they call it the Winchester. Big Al says dogs can't look up. Oh, God. So.
How was your weekend, Earl, other than the dishwasher disaster?
Mostly a disaster. Like, that was...
That's it?
That consumed my weekend.
So, since we just started recording, Earl, why don't you share the dishwasher disaster?
The joy of the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
We loaded... we were cooking some chicken and dumplings. And loaded the dishwasher so that everything would be ready. All the bowls would be clean so I could enjoy some delicious chicken and dumplings. And
delicious chicken and dumplings.
And we went and sat down and watched a movie because it takes a couple hours to simmer. And we heard like what we thought was the pot bubbling over, that kind of gurgle sound.
Yeah.
Went into the kitchen. And there is a sheen of water all over the kitchen floor, the hardwood kitchen floor. So we start screaming for the kids to grab towels and blankets to put down, and immediately, shut it off and call the landlord to let him know what happened. And he asked the question. He's like, "Okay, great. So how much water was it? Did it leak downstairs?" And our first thought, looking around, was, "No, I can't imagine it did, because it was some water, but it wasn't unmanageable on the kitchen side."
Mm-hmm.
And we said no, but then there was a second thought, and so we sent the youngest one downstairs to check. And we just heard him yell, "Oh my God!" And so we went running down, and there is literally water pouring out of one of the light fixtures, like water pours off a gutter on the side of a building.
Oh my God!
Just pouring down on the floor, inch of water on the floor, all over the kid's bed, who was right under the light. It was everywhere. Every bit of water that went into that dishwasher poured, the wash cycle and the rinse cycle, ended up on our first floor, on our first level.
Oh my God.
So, eventually the ceiling's going to have to be torn out. And part of the floor down there is probably going to have to be replaced too, because it's hardwood on the second floor, but it's it's like laminate.
Oh,
wood.
yeah.
It looks like hardwood, but it's not real hardwood on the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
So probably a good chunk of that's going to have to be pulled up eventually too. Right now we're just letting it sit to figure out what bubbles and what doesn't, while we wait on the new dishwasher. So yeah, it's just a minor disaster in the Earl house this weekend. In my own way.
The Earl house. Holy crap.
In the positive news, the second of the two teenagers is now employed. I am happy to report. So,
Sorry.
yay!
That's awesome. So what is she
that.
doing?
Well, this was the he. The she's had a job.
Oh, I'm sorry. The he.
Yeah. The she has been working at a dog groomer / boarding. What's a kennel? Kennel is the word.
Cool.
Nice.
And she's like a kennel assistant. She walks the dogs, and helps give them baths. The boy got a job at Topgolf.
Cool.
So
awesome.
I'm hoping he gets a sweet discount that I can take advantage of.
Family discount. Wait, what's he doing there?
They start them all off as food runners. Like apparently food runner is their entry level. They all have to do it for 60 days before they get moved into something else.
Specialized. Are you a golfer, Earl?
I am a hitter.
Passionate.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I used to be a lot more than I am now. Around 2008, I played pretty heavily, and then I stopped. And I just picked it up again literally last month and was super, super excited when I hit probably 175, 180 with my hybrid club off the grass, though, not off the tee.
That's yards, not feet, right?
Yeah, correct. That is yards. That is yards. But it felt good to make clean contact and hit it straight. So, I'm going to be playing a lot more now.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
I haven't played in about 4 years. I loved playing. I was terrible, but I love playing.
Me too.
You called yourself a hitter. I'm what I call a guy who's outside, drives around in the golf cart, loses balls. I'm the ball loser. That's what I am. That sounds awful, actually. Don't repeat that. I'm the ball loser. Yeah. Oh, man. Such a bad thing to like, too. That I've always liked.
Totally. Oh, totally. But, it's exercise and it's doing me well. So it's part of the whole Earl improvement plan that this trip to Virginia has been.
The EIP.
Really, I mean, for all of us, like we got soft in Texas. Like moving up here and things being a little difficult for us. I think it's going to be good for all of us eventually.
That's good.
How are the kids adjusting to the new schools?
One like a fish to water. The other three not so well. It's going to take time, especially the older ones. The older ones have a harder time because they were so well established where we came from. So, and it's harder to make new friends in high school because everybody's known each other forever. So, it'll happen.
Well, you have that, and then you have the cliques that you normally have in schools and all that jazz.
Oh yeah.
All that jazz.
So, yep. The big news this week that we're dealing with is we just got a notification of. They're calling it the Family Life Education Program here. And it seems to be, it's a sex ed safety program that's got like...
Wait, what's it called again?
The Family Life Education Program?
Family Life Education Program.
It's...
The FLEP.
See, that's the weird thing about it.
FLEP.
Yeah, that's the way they describe it, it sounds okay until you get into the weeds of it and realize it's just another it looks like another abstinence only program, which by the way don't work. And it seems to be really heavily religiously motivated.
Oh, that's weird.
Because there's a lot of languages about encouraging kids to turn to their clergy, just in the course descriptions.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's a bit awkward.
It says that the curriculum is on display for parents this week at the school. So we're going to go down on Thursday on our lunch break and check it out. But I strongly suspect we're going to opt our kids out of it.
Yeah, I think I would too.
I don't. Yeah. So, but it's weird because they they mask it in this weird language that makes it sound like it's for your kid's safety, when it really just seems like a rehashing of, the same sex is bad, go to church, that's been around for 40 years now.
Right. Mutated revival of that ideology.
Yeah. It seems like it's just recycled again. And so I think we're just going to opt ours out of it. Our two 16-year-olds, there's nothing else other than practical experience that you can educate them about sex about. And even the younger ones, are all I'm a mush mouth tonight.
Oh, John,
they're all far more educated than I was at their age. So,
yeah.
Is John okay?
Yeah, good. John just went to go shut the door and he plopped down on the folding chair. It looked like it was going to be more disastrous than it actually was. But
for a second.
My God.
So
just be careful. That's an IKEA folding chair. Oh man, I wouldn't have been honestly, John. I think you would have been okay. You would have bruised, but that chair would have been.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be lights out for the chair.
Caitlin comes home. She's like, "Excuse me, what are these smithereens here?"
Smithereens.
That's what John's ass blasted that chair into. Smithereens.
Golly gee willikers, smithereens.
Smithereens.
Wow.
I was just thinking like blew it into smithereens, and I don't know why I just said it like that because just for clarification, Caitlin never ever says what are these smithereens here.
I would pay money to. I've never actually seen your wife. I would pay money to see the look on her face if you said the word smithereens to her house.
She'd probably be like, "What the fuck are you saying?"
She'd probably slap you.
She'd slap me. She'd slap me into smithereens.
Me and the boys are gonna go down to the Water Buffalo Club to get away from the bronze. Like, jeez.
Now you're making me sound like a sexist. Hold on. No, I said was smithereens.
I'm just saying that the word comes from that era.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not an indictment of you. Just
I know. It comes from that time period. Smithereen. Yeah, I can't believe I just said that. What are you gonna do?
Words of wisdom from the ball loser.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, from the what did you say?
The ball loser.
That's right, the ball loser. And my smithereens. And my carafe, right? A couple weeks ago. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know. Oh, God. All right.
So what about y'all? What's up?
John,
what you been up to?
Let's see. I think we did go camping for the first time with our son, which was amazing.
Camping.
Yeah, it was. I know your thoughts on camping, but
this is not my time. This is your time. You talk about it because I can go on for an hour.
Yeah.
It's okay, John.
I actually prefer. I like going camping. I like that lifestyle and all that. But our son had a great time. We were really nervous. He didn't nap so well during the day, but he slept like a baby, and I was so surprised too because it was the most thunderous, rainy weekend ever. And so we set up our tent, and it was like a bright sunny day, and then basically bam, for the rest of the weekend it was just like monsoon season. And we tried to make the best of it. We didn't want to just bail out, but he was like a fish in water. Like he was loving it, loved the being in the mud, loved just running around. And I think it stems from us not realizing that he's like a city kid. He doesn't get to do this very often, and a lot of the time he's just restricted to a small backyard. But does this sound okay? We're trying to test the mic a little bit. It's really loud. I'm like, my own voice is crushing my ears right now.
It's not actually as loud as it's It's not as loud as you think it is. It's just because I need the headphones up that loud, and I apologize for that. So
the audio feed's fine.
Yeah.
All right, well that's good because it's like right now I sound like I'm screaming in my ears.
Jesus Christ, that time you did.
I did. But
if it helps, try taking one of the headphones off.
I did. I've been alternating a little bit. It's funny because we got a splitter to share the one port that gives us both sound from both earbuds, but I don't know. Actually, can you switch me to the single one?
Just to one side? You
Yeah.
don't want this anymore?
No, I don't. Oh my God. I'm not going to pretend.
John's breaking up with you, Mike.
That's all right.
You're listening to a radio breakup right now.
It's a shame because we bought a special splitter for this exact reason, and well, some things don't work out.
That's right. Now you have to discuss custody to see who gets the splitter, even though neither one of you will use it again.
Well, I have 50 of them, and Mike, I think
I
has
have like 32.
the same.
Yeah.
It was just cheaper to buy one than the time wasted on trying to find where it is. Yeah.
I've recently packed a lot of things away because there's a baby on the way, so a lot of my audio equipment got packed away. And yeah.
But yeah, so to finish the story,
go ahead.
raining. He had a blast. We had a good time too. It was just a lot of like packing up and unpacking every time it started raining, which is it's kind of a bitch because it's like you know when it starts raining, you just kind of wish it was one or the other, not stop and go. But it was good. I mean, we had a great time. It was his first time camping. We couldn't have been happier with how he reacted. He seemed to really like it. So hopefully we can go again this fall sometime.
Oh, kudos to y'all for sticking it out in that rain. I wouldn't have.
I think the not deal breaker, but the decision maker was he was just having such a great time, and we're like, well, it's his first camping trip. Everything's completely like wrecked anyway, so we might as well
that's
just
so
stay.
sweet. You could tell it's your first kid.
Yeah,
by the third one, you'll
we're
be like,
we're getting
no,
the F out of here.
Yeah, we're not. I'm not.
By the
I'm not
third
drying
one.
out a tent. Oh yeah, drying out a tent's the worst.
Yeah,
Like-
it sucks. You gotta wash it, and you gotta make sure it doesn't get like mold and mildewy, and you gotta hang it. And our tent has a screen door on it. Like it's a 18-foot by 10-foot footprint. It's like a trailer tent. So like now we're gonna have to like do all that cleaning and air drying for this thing. It's gonna be a freaking nightmare. I don't know. It actually might be worth it just to toss it and get a new one. Honestly, I think we got a deal on this Coleman monster anyway. So who knows? We'll see.
There you go.
We tossed most of ours when we moved up here. Because it wasn't worth carrying them.
Yeah, and I mean, especially if it's over like 3 to 5 years old, it's probably time to get new equipment anyway. Especially if it's a tent, they don't really last that long. Once those seams start separating, it's not going to help you at all with bugs or the rain. But I mean, do you like camping, Earl?
Oh yeah, we go all the time.
Yeah. Have you found a spot that you might want to go to up in Virginia?
We have not yet. That's one of the things that's on our agenda, to figure out during the winter months. We'll probably book a spot at like a state park first, just to get a feel for the weather and get our feet under us.
Right, have that
before we
that
try
convenience at hand just in case. I hear you.
Oh yeah, we used to do all kinds of camping down in Texas. Loved it.
I can't say the same for Mike here, but
I know I've heard his aversion to the outdoors.
Yeah.
We should have pitched a tent in here in your office and did the podcast from the tent.
Don't say things like that. Come on. Just be happy that Lou didn't hear you say that. That's I pitched a tent. I don't know why I made him sound like that. It's like Burgess Meredith playing the penguin. Yeah, I've never been a fan of camping, but what are you gonna do?
Well, it's funner when you bring your kid.
That's for sure.
It's
a cool thing to share with a kid.
Well, especially if they like it. If they're having a really crappy time, then it's probably the worst weekend in your life.
Oh yeah, we got one that hates it.
Yeah,
but we drag her along anyway.
Well,
so what's fun? Do you have the up there? Do you guys have a Ren fair or Scarborough fair?
Yeah, it's up in by Tuxedo, New York by us. I think is the closest one. We try to go at least once every year.
Most of those have campgrounds.
Yep.
That's a blast to do with kids, is to camp overnight on the family nights at those. Now, if it's like the one in Texas, they have the non-family nights. That's probably not the best time to take your kids.
Yeah. Which one in Texas are you talking about?
We've done both the Texas Ren Fair above Houston and the Scarborough Fair above Dallas.
I've done the Texas Ren Fair once or twice with a buddy of mine on both non-family and family type of evenings.
Oh, nice!
It gets pretty rowdy, man. Like it was intense. There's like a mobile strip club actually at one of them.
The pirate weekends
is crazy.
And there's a chainmail strip club too. There's the chainmail shop. Yep, they do
a chainmail strip club.
Yeah, they have a catwalk out on top of the chainmail store, and in the evening they take volunteers who dress up in chainmail lingerie and come out and do a striptease.
Holy shit!
Welcome to Texas.
That's so weird. That's so weird.
Oh, stuff gets real weird out there.
It's very interesting. Okay. But yeah, the campgrounds there are insane. It's massive. Well, at least the one I went to.
When did you go?
When or where?
Yeah.
When it was, I think the last time we went, we were trying to go this year, but the last time I think it was 2 years ago.
Okay, so you've seen the bigger campgrounds. Good.
Yeah.
About 6 years ago, they doubled the size of the camping grounds. It's just stupid. Yeah.
Yep. And it's fun. It's fun because when you get there too, they have cliques there too. They have like little kingdoms.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you can't go and just put your tent anywhere. Like you have to go to an area where it's just like the miscellaneous group. They have like little fortresses that they put up with their RVs and all like the tarps that they put up, and it's like little castles.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
like
crazy.
We would go. Oh yeah, we would go on pirate weekend, and I'd spend all weekend as a pirate. Yar.
Yar.
I gotta figure out how to add Lou to this call.
Oh. Can he just call the group?
Yeah, that's what he can do.
Oh, there he is. Lou, did you hear about the chainmail strip club?
Is this some kind of a joke?
No. True story.
No, it's real. Welcome to the call. Welcome to the
story.
Talkin Dads podcast, Lou. Where you been?
Good. It sounds like you're in a bathroom.
I am.
Okay. Just you sound kind of.
I'm not.
Echoey and
No,
hollow.
I'm here. Is that better?
No.
Is that better?
No.
Is that better?
Getting better.
Is that better?
Much better. Much better. Yeah. So talk about the stripper who started the chainmail.
Oh no, we're talking about the Ren Fair in Texas. And they have a chainmail, like a catwalk on top, and where they come out and do a striptease.
And they're women, is what we're talking about?
Both. But yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I'm down with it.
Texas is all.
Texas style.
Lou's here, and so are his kids.
I'm trying to keep it muted in the background, but hold on a second while I mute this and see if I can move them away from the door.
No, not a problem. John just stepped away for a second anyway, so. So I just realized, by the way, 2 microphones hooked up to this thing cause a lot of problems.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Like I sound like I'm in a bathroom, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Well, Lou said I did it. I don't know. Maybe just to him. I don't know.
I know. I gotta get a new. I gotta get a desk for upstairs.
Yeah.
Because I'm having to do this on the edge of my bed, and it sucks.
Downstairs in the kitchen. You're doing this on the edge of your bed?
Yeah. See, upstairs is the only place quiet enough.
Oh yikes!
I'm back. I don't have an upstairs, so.
No.
Well, I do. I technically do, but only because there's a downstairs. It's called the basement. So.
So you live in a ranch, right?
I do. I live in a ranch. I have a couple of horses.
Well, isn't that the type of house? Isn't that what it's called?
Yes, actually, it started out in California, and it actually was because people had a ranch. Traditional, the real reason was it was one big open room.
Gotcha.
One floor. So
One
yeah.
floor. All right. John is returning to his microphone, and we are now all four united on the Talkin Dads podcast.
Where was John? Where'd he go?
Let's grab Mike a seltzer and myself a beverage.
And he was looking up chainmail strippers.
Chainmail strippers. Yeah. So are these are strippers who send out chainmails, or these are strippers who dress in chainmail? I'm trying to figure out which one.
It's a chainmail shop. Yeah.
Chainmail shop. Okay, cool. So they're kind of like they have a dual role of like, hey, I want to, be in the medieval time or strip.
Yeah. Well, to give you more context, Earl was talking about the Renaissance fairs. And camping at the Renaissance fairs and how he likes to do that with his family.
Right.
And that one particular topic happened to come up because it was, funny.
It was
Although, I do like the idea of a bunch of strippers who just send out chain letters.
That's a new idea for a marketing company.
I can go with it. So.
How would you suggest it promote that, Lou?
I don't think you suggested actually would promote it.
We suggest this.
I think that's something else completely, completely on the side. So,
I know.
Yeah.
Well, while since you're here, why don't you tell us a little bit about You Suggested, and then we will jump back into the conversation.
Best way to explain it is if you got a suggestion, you like a product, You Suggested, go to yousuggested.com, and if you don't see the company that you're making a suggestion, just use the slide out, make a suggestion, and we'll get over to the company that you want to make a suggestion to. So simple.
Earl, what company makes chainmail? Do you know one?
Company that makes chainmail? No, mostly it's individual people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know several people who make chainmail, but not a company. Sorry.
What? Why are you in the market for chainmail?
No, I'm gonna make a suggestion.
I don't think there's not a very big market for chainmail. So, do you wear it? Do you actually have a chainmail garb?
No,
I
can't
do.
say
I do in fact have a cowl.
Oh, just a cowl. Okay.
Just a cowl. Yes.
All right. So, and then you actually have something that. Why do you have a cowl? Do you have a helmet?
I do not.
Okay.
But it's for I have a couple of different outfits that are Ren Fair appropriate. The only one that's full and complete is my pirate outfit, though.
And that fits in the Renaissance because it's an outfit that you can go there and wear and nobody would actually say anything different, or is it actually you feel part of the Renaissance tribute, so to speak?
I don't know what you mean. I mean, it's a Renaissance era costume. They're all
it
Renaissance
is?
era costumes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ren Fairs do themed weekends.
Okay.
So like they'll do a fairy weekend, they'll do a barbarian weekend, they'll do a pirate weekend. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of
Pat's
cool.
fan weekend, probably. Barbarian Pat
That's
fans.
the barbarian weekend, sir.
What?
They do a Star Wars weekend.
They do not, but inevitably there's always somebody that modifies a sci-fi costume to look like old armor. Like there's always a Batman walking around.
That's awesome.
Or actually the coolest thing that made me laugh that I ever saw at one was a lady who ran a lemonade stand in the middle of it, and she kept a chalkboard up where she put a mark every time she saw somebody in a crappy Jack Sparrow costume. And there was 25 marks.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
That's awesome.
Jack Sparrow.
Amazon.
Well, there is a movie, Mike, you actually may know about this. That's Batman that goes back into samurai days.
Oh my God! Yeah, Earl knows about it too. We talked about it. It's the most ridiculous movie I've ever seen, and it is amazing. Is it Ninja Batman or Batman Ninja?
I don't. Is it what is it, Earl? I guess you know.
I'm pretty sure it's Ninja Batman, but it doesn't matter. Search for Batman and Ninja, and you'll find it.
Ugh.
Now, is it? No, I'm assuming by the way you're saying that you actually liked it, because I'm totally psyched to see this.
I adored it. It is.
We can't talk about it other than our feelings
Well, I've
on
never
it. Go
seen
ahead,
it
Earl.
either.
It is everything you love about anime on speed. Like you take it and you put anime in a blender with a bunch of cocaine, and then add,
No, that's perfect.
and then you add Batman, and that's what you get as this movie. It's every 8-year-old's dream.
I'm
It's
going to
fantastic.
love this.
Yeah.
Did you see? There was a Batman one that I actually have as a CD. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's 3 separate Batmans, each one of them made by a different anime artist.
Right.
Yeah. What is it? Arkham Knight? Or what's that? Not Arkham Knight. What's that called?
There was one where he goes to India and he studies underneath a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Uh huh.
Do you see? And then he comes back and it's like it's a flashback. Did you see?
Yeah,
That's
it's where he
one of
learns
the
to
really
deal with pain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it called Gotham Knight? Is that what it is?
Gotham Knights. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Gotham
Yeah.
Knights. And then
Awesome.
one of them's actually a remake of an old episode from the Batman animated series cartoon where they have like everybody's remembering Batman in a different way, right? So everyone has a Batman story. It's like, oh, he came in and he was like a super, robot man. I swear he was a robot. And like one of them came in, it's like he was half man, half bat, right? And that was actually just a remake version of it. And the original one, though, that it was in the Batman the animated series, actually was like the first animated version ever of the Dark Knight Returns Frank Miller comic before they came out with the animated movie. It's pretty cool.
Have you ever seen the old original like 1940s Batman movies or
Before Adam
shows?
West.
I have one of the posters of. It's so ridiculous.
It's like he's got like a 1940s 4-door Ford driving around in California, highways way off the coast in the middle of nowhere or something like that. It's kind of
Robin has the best afro ever. It's amazing.
So all right, so we got off the trail of Talking Dads and got into Batman stories.
Well,
which
I
is
bet
really,
Batman's kind of a dad to Robin, right?
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, watch this movie though. It's you every time you think you've seen the craziest thing ever in a Batman cartoon, it ratchets it up a notch.
It's so true because I can't think of a better way to explain it than what Earl just said. It's like, seriously, every 5 minutes I'm looking at Caitlin, who by the way was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" Right, but looking at her, I'm like, "This is awesome." Like no offense to Caitlin, kind of wishing that Earl or my brother or somebody who appreciated
Somebody
this stuff
else was there.
was sitting next to me watching this because she did not appreciate it like I did.
When your wife is like, when they look at you and they start asking questions like, "What's going on? What's happening? What's going on? I don't get it."
She knew what was happening. She knew what was happening. She was just looking at me like, "What is wrong with you for liking
this? Is the
this?"
father of my unborn child.
Exactly. Our child should not watch this.
That's the other thing that's the disappointment. It's just like, you're not letting the kid is not going to watch this. Well, let the kid decide when she's 2.
Well, that's the cool thing about Caitlin, though. She's like, we don't want to force anything, So if the kid wants to watch it, the kid can watch it, right? So.
Yeah, well, wait until the baby comes out. All bets are off until that actually happens,
Well, but she keeps giving me a hard time because I'm always like, Patriots, go Patriots. And she's like, well, let the kid make up his or her own mind. And it's like,
I would imagine he or she will probably gravitate towards
Patriots.
better teams. Better teams.
The Patriots.
Do you know how much part of me hopes your kid's a Giants fan?
Oh,
my
it's this.
God.
I think that's more of a reality than it is, because Caitlin is such a fervent, ardent fan of good football. So
You're calling the Giants good football as of late. Come on, get out of here.
when it comes to
Wait, time out. You're a Steelers fan, Lou. That doesn't even. You can't give me the bullshit.
I actually, so I'm from the area. I've grown up with the Giants. I actually am a Giants fan. If they played the Steelers, of course, I'd want the Steelers to win. But I always want the Patriots to lose. I mean, there's I don't care who's playing it. Well, especially when the Jets are playing, because that's a great rivalry. But,
Well, this year you guys got Darnold.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Jets.
Sam Darnold, he's actually looking pretty good.
I know. I'm getting a little nervous there.
Now they just have to graduate to be a team. Wait, are they in the NFL now? I thought they got demoted to like college teams.
The Jets.
Isn't that your team? I would.
Yes, they are my favorite. I am a diehard Jets fan.
So
I'm sorry. I'm on the brink of losing all hope, though.
yes, you're on. If there's any time not to be on the brink of losing all hope, it's actually right now.
No,
so I mean,
it is a promising year.
it's promising. I wish you had a better coach. Really, I did.
Yeah.
But she's just kind of like not the kind of strong coach that you want there. At that point in time. But I don't know. I don't think there was. I can't recall when there was actually a good coach that was actually there. That was a good coach when he was there. Belichick was there. Pete Carroll was there. Bill Parcells was there, but they have a tendency to basically like take the coaches and squeeze the life out of them.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Lately, I don't know. I thought Rex did a pretty good job for a couple of years, but then that shit went up in flames.
He was more like P.T. Barnum than he was Bill Parcells. Or
He was a
anything
showman.
He was more like Peter Griffin than he was.
Yes, he was more like Peter Griffin. So.
Let's go, Jets.
Well, that shtick only lasts so long unless you.
Yeah, it lasted 2 years. We're one game away from the Super Bowl, but
if he'd have won that Super Bowl, they'd have put up with that act.
Yeah,
it
didn't last long.
That's the difference.
Right. No, I agree. We'll see. I don't know when Tom Brady's gonna retire though. Is he like a cyborg now, or is he like being?
He's a clone. He's just a clone. Yeah.
He's not a clone.
He's 42, I think, this year.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Jesus.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I'm 40 now, and I hurt myself opening the front door this morning. And he's 42 and playing in the NFL. He's a clone.
Nah.
Or hologram. Maybe he's just like actually like playing like behind the scenes, and they just like project him on the field.
That's why it's never a fumble. Because he's never really there.
There's no ball, actually.
That's how you actually deflate a ball. Is it's just not even there?
Yeah, those are the prop balls.
What was this with the Steelers lately with the deflating balls?
Why did you have to all of a sudden gravitate towards the Steelers? We're talking about dissing on the Patriots. Nobody cares.
Well, because look, there's only so far you can go with that. Come on, you don't think I've heard all this shit? Get out of here.
Well, how'd you end up a Steelers fan, Lou?
My mom is from Pittsburgh, and she's a diehard Steelers fan, diehard. So, I mean, we like the Giants. We love all Pittsburgh teams, but we also big Yankees fan and stuff like that. So, but
sure.
It just happened to be that, she put up a great picture this past week on Facebook. It said a picture of Ben Roethlisberger standing with another quarterback. Who I think it was the guy from the Patriots. I can't remember his name. But she said one of them is the best quarterback in the world, and the other one's not Ben Roethlisberger.
Wow.
Something to that effect. I can't recall exactly what it was, but that's something to that effect.
Okay. Facts, stats, all those things, I guess they don't matter. All right, moving on.
You can tell the mic's getting a little agitated. I can
not
agitated.
I'm not agitated.
I feel the heat's coming from his chair.
No, I'm not. I just feel like I can't participate in this conversation because.
Oh, that's because you don't want to take the gloves off. You want to participate in the conversation. Like, Roethlisberger's got plenty to talk about.
No, of course he does. I've already said it in the past. But there's 3 of you and there's 1 of me, and I'm just kind of like, okay, let's talk about dad stuff. Right?
Bitchy little girl.
How many illegitimate children do you think Roethlisberger has? How many? Fucking rapist.
I mean,
there it is. There it is. There it is.
Goes away from
I'm
the
just
sport.
saying, you fucking dirty ass team with fucking stealing. Get out of here! I'm done talking football.
It goes right off the range completely. It's no longer even talking about football. It just goes.
Well, I'm talking about rape accusations and the fact that he shouldn't have been let back into the NFL. Come on.
Right off the cliff into the deep ridge.
No, there's no cliff. All right.
It's okay. With the Steelers front line, he won't be walking much longer anyway. It'll be all right.
That's just true. It's true. Football. What's your team, Earl?
Fine, Texans.
Houston Texans.
Yes, sir. We finally got some hope again this year.
Can't hate you guys.
Yeah. We haven't done anything, so there's nothing to hate. Like we've been mostly just a mediocre disappointment.
That's how the Patriots were for a long time.
Right up there with the Jets.
Yeah.
Is that? I guess that's why whenever the Jets play the Texans, it's always a pretty good game because they've been pretty much the same level this whole time.
Yeah. Like the biggest thing you could say about the Texans is like literally the most dominant defensive player in recent years. So I mean, at least we've had JJ to watch.
Mm-hmm. He looks like an animal, though. Like I would not want to play against JJ Watt.
Oh, his brother's insane too. Just the size, it's
they're
ridiculous.
just monsters. It's crazy.
Yeah. They're not. So there's like NBA and NFL people, like it. And I don't mean this as disrespectful as it sounds. They don't look human to me. Like they're almost the next stage of evolution of humanity. Like
they're enormous. Well,
Just
look at the difference between basketball players the past 10 years, right? The past 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
They used to be like lanky. Caitlin and my wife actually brought this up too. They used to be like lanky, skinny, the playing basketball, athletic, but like not these monsters that they've become. Like these guys look like they'd kill the football players now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. So
and next on Sports Talk Radio.
Oh yeah, that's right. You listen to WKLTY. Sports Talk Radio.
This is Pharrell on the bench.
That was good. Oh boy. All right. I think we got time for one more topic here. We're going to try to rein these episodes in a little bit, as you could tell from this episode so far. We've not reined it in. But we're going to try to shorten them a little bit more, make them a little bit more bite-sized and consumable. Try to keep them under an hour is basically what we're aiming for here. But here's the topic that I want to bring up for the end, because the time is nigh for me and the lady and the child.
Dun, dun, dun. I was going to say, like, you at this point, you have very little to do with it.
Yeah.
Like, you're a passive bystander.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing like it's a waiting game now. Now it's a ticking time bomb. So the last thing we can do to prepare is pack that bag. What do I pack? What do you guys suggest? That's what I'm looking for here.
Beers.
Ice cream.
Beers. Ice
snacks.
cream. I can't pack. Well, I'm not gonna pack ice cream unless I'm bringing a cooler.
As little as possible.
Potato
Like, you don't
chips.
need anything.
Yeah.
Potato chips.
I
Well,
would
not
say
for me.
Maybe a backup battery for your
Salty
phone.
snacks.
Snacks. Yep, snacks.
Salty snacks.
You
Why
probably won't
why
be
salty?
changing your clothes very often, so
Yeah. Change of underwear for you.
yeah, change underwear.
Yeah, I was gonna change my underwear anyway.
That's pretty close to what I actually brought. I brought nearly nothing.
A candy bar
Yeah.
and your phone charger.
I brought a change of shirt, and shorts. No, not even shorts. Underwear, shirt, snacks, and a backup battery for my phone for pictures.
What
I
about
guess.
for Caitlin and for the baby? Right. So
They'll be
obviously-
taken
There's
taken
nothing you
care
can
of.
bring for
Yeah.
the baby.
Yeah,
They'll
they're
be taken care
pampered.
of.
Well, that's
Except
really
the
her
car
decision, I guess. Yeah, the car seat. You're probably in charge of that.
Mhm.
And whatever she likes to do on downtime, because there could be potentially a lot of nothing. So
She'll probably want to
movies,
rest,
phone.
but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, phone
I mean,
charger for
it's-
sure.
Yeah, it all really all depends on how her labor is. Like what her experience is. Some people could be quite bored because they could be sitting there for a long time. Some people could be not so. So you just gotta
Bring a pillow. Bring
Yeah,
a pillow for
pillow.
yourself. Like
Yeah.
one of the ones that you can put around your neck, because there's a good chance if you go in labor at nighttime, you come back to the room and you're in a room with somebody else. You don't have an actual room by yourself. You're sitting in the chair next to her, and
Yeah.
you're just trying to basically watch her and maybe get 15 minutes to an hour's worth of sleep. And that's pretty much. So if you can do that, but otherwise, yeah, I think these guys are spot on.
Okay.
So one of the best things that I learned over the years isn't about what to bring; it's about what to do. And I learned a very valuable lesson not to do. Make someone else responsible for mass communications. Pick someone that you talk to, like your mom or someone that's close to you, that can disseminate information. That way you can focus on your new baby and your wife.
Don't give it to your brother-in-law. Don't give it to your brother-in-law.
But I mean,
Why?
it's easier for you to pass off one message instead of making sure that everyone else gets everything. So you can plan that out in advance and have somebody else be responsible for passing along information, and that way you can enjoy that time.
That's a good idea.
So
that's a great idea.
now the thing not to do that I learned is do not bring chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes into the room and eat it.
Yeah, that's.
I think we've all been through that. Yeah. I think we've all been down that road. It's like, oh my god, I can't bring this in, sir.
What if I put
no.
it in between two slices of bread?
Oh no, I brought it in. I sat there and ate it.
That's awesome. Fork and knife, everything. That's
Straight up,
fantastic. Okay. Well, I guess.
Well, the nice thing about it is, Mike, don't worry about eating, because this is your first kid, and you probably won't be getting for the first 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
That's
Standing, I think.
yeah. You'll be doing
I probably won't be eating for the first 28 to 48.
24 to 48. So
That's what I
24
meant.
times 2 is
Shut the fuck up. Hey, no, that's you heard
Carry
me.
the
I
six.
made a mistake.
so
24 to 48 hours. I got it.
don't think we're gonna let you live it down.
All
So,
right. If you think I'm not going to eat, you're out of your mind.
You're
But
one of
I'm
the
gonna figure something out.
It'll be a blur. That first
Yeah.
48 hours will be a blur.
don't worry about eating, because exactly. You're not even gonna notice it.
You'll
It's just gonna
be heading out of the hospital before you even realize what's going on.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
and don't panic if your baby comes out blue or has a cone head.
Now I'm panicking. I don't know. Okay.
Because what does that mean, Earl?
Nothing. It just happens sometimes. Sometimes as they're adapting to oxygen breathing on their own, they come out with a little bit of blue tint.
Okay.
And because their skulls aren't formed all the way, like the bones aren't fused, that it gets shapen sometimes into
Yeah.
like a little cone head.
I've
Like my
learned
nephew-
that, but it falls
my
like it
nephew
forms
came
back
out
into
looking
like.
Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, usually,
Straight
if
up.
it's a
I come
natural
from
birth,
France.
they have a cone head.
I'm trying to get this thing out. I am from Remulac. So,
Yeah, but it goes back like it forms into like a normal shape after like a day or two, right? It's
A little
yeah.
longer than that, but yeah.
longer. Yeah.
It's a gradual thing.
it
But if
obviously
she,
depends.
if there's a cesarean involved, then
Yeah.
most likely you probably won't have the cone head.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That's a product of a natural birth usually, because of the squeezing
Yeah.
through other.
And the
holes.
pushing.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about that today.
Who made that noise?
That was John. I think that was John.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't John. John's sitting right next to me. I can see his face.
Wow. Then maybe, I guess that was Earl.
Was that
was-
Earl?
it
Very
was-
uncharacteristic of Earl.
Yeah, I was like, I'm surprised. I think it was Earl.
I'm a little punch drunk tonight. It's been a long day, so I'm a little good.
I like it. It's good. It's
Did
pretty
you
funny.
go to the classes, Mike? To the Lamaze classes?
No, she
Oh.
didn't want to take him.
So what they tell you to do while you're there is they are teaching you how to push, right? Which you
Who, me?
may or may not even remember. Yeah, actually you as well. But the woman who's going to be doing the pushing and not you, but they actually tell you, and I don't know if you guys, Earl and John, went through the same thing, but they basically tell the women it feels like you're taking like a really big dump, you know?
That's what I've actually heard that before.
And basically feel like that's exactly what you're doing. But of course you get in there, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? You have no recollection whatsoever. Breathe, honey, breathe, honey, breathe, honey, breathe, honey. Shut up. It's like
That really
it's
all
like
goes out the window,
it
doesn't
goes-
it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I figured I figured my
my
hand is there for braking, and my mouth is not there for talking.
No,
I'm
it's you're definitely, you may have your hand being squeezed, but maybe not. But you're definitely, may not even be doing any talking. It depends upon how many people in a room.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be talking, right? I just learned recently that there is a mirror that they place up there for you to
could,
see things,
if you
and
choose.
that
If you want to, yeah.
That was
Yeah, you
it was
don't
our
have to.
option.
You don't have to.
like I told Caitlin, I'm like, I'm gonna be standing by her side, and then someone's like, oh, there's gonna be a mirror there, and I'm like, a what? A fucking what? I'm standing by your side. That,
You don't have to look up. Don't look up. Don't look up. It's like
oh
it's like,
yeah,
It'll look funny to see, Mike,
that's like,
anyway.
don't look at it. The train wreck.
No. It's
not
like
calling
don't,
that a train wreck, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like
gonna
don't
edit
look
this,
down.
right?
I'm gonna leave it in. This is Raw and Uncut Talking Dads this week. We talk football. We talk train wrecks. We talked Mike potentially being put in the doghouse. So,
Did I ever tell you guys the story of the fainting nurse? You ever talk about that?
the fainting nurse. Did we talk about that on here?
I don't recall it. No.
My daughter was being. Did my mic cut out?
No,
Nope,
there.
we got
You're
you.
back now.
Nope.
It was a little bit quiet.
That's weird. It's acting up. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Still here.
Sorry. Like, I lost my. Oh, that's what's wrong. It's my head.
Virginity to a nurse.
There we go. So, no, the. So when my daughter was being born, the anesthesiologist came in to give the epidural. And they gave me this big, long speech because apparently it's a real problem with fathers who can't deal with the sight of the epidural. And if you've never seen one, what they do is, of course, they insert a needle into the lower spine, and they feed what looks like a piece of fishing line in through this needle into the back to administer the drug.
It's different. Yeah, it's very different, and the line stays there. They
Yeah,
just tape
it's-
it on.
Yeah, I don't.
Disturbing to watch. It's body horror.
Actually,
to
I
the
will
max.
agree with you. That was actually probably a little bit more disturbing to see for the first time than the actual the labor itself.
Did you have a mirror?
What?
Did you guys have a mirror?
No,
Okay.
no way. I mean,
No, I didn't either. I won't lie.
I mean, we saw everything we wanted to see. I don't know. I guess the mirror was maybe more for Lauren because like I was full view for what I needed to see.
Oh, you were standing there ready to receive?
No, but I was like kind of towards the end because I don't know, for some reason I was next to her, but like kind of mid point, so like I wasn't on the receiving, but I was there. Yeah.
They basically put John. Take a look at this. Come on
Yeah.
over. It's
Yeah.
like no, that's okay.
I'm good.
Thanks.
I'm good right here. Thanks.
Yeah.
No, but one of the things going back to the whole classes though, one of the things that I didn't realize was all the different positions they suggest you trying out to make your labor and your birthing process more comfortable. In my head, I always thought the woman was just lying on her back with the legs up, like pushing out this baby, but apparently that's not the case. Apparently, there's a lot of people
that's supposedly
standing.
not even like the natural position to give birth, right?
They like really suggest you to try all these like 4 or 5 different positions that are supposed to be positions that make possibly you more comfortable in the birthing process more easier, which I thought was crazy because there's like these contraptions they have, like, you know, this bar that you hang on to and you're like kneeling down on the
what?
ground. Yeah, like this
A bar?
A bar. Yeah, it's kind of like it's just nuts. I thought it was just kind of mind blowing to see like the different options you had because I just never realized.
That's interesting. Huh. I don't think Earl finished his story, did he? About the nurse?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
They
So just to recap, we were talking about the epidural.
So they're feeding this fishing line into her back. And they've been warning me, you know, asking me if I was going to be okay, making sure I knew where the chair was if I need to sit down, because it's disturbing to watch. But in the room is a nurse that's assisting the anesthesiologist, and she has a student nurse with her who's training. And the student nurse, she's a big girl. And I say that just so you get the visual of
Right.
what happened. So they're feeding it in, and the doctor keeps checking on me, and the nurse keeps looking back on me, and I'm watching this nurse, and she's starting to make slow circles on her feet, like that sway people get. Slow, and then like literally like watching a tree fall.
Yikes.
She went face first onto
Oh.
that floor. Bang! Loud noise,
Oh my god.
and was unconscious at the side of this epidural. I don't know how this
Did
poor
she
lady
sustain
made it.
any injuries?
I do not know. They called for help and rushed her out, but everyone in the rush to take care of the nurse forgot about my ex-wife and the anesthesiologist.
Oh, God.
And so he's sitting there with just this line and no one else to assist him, going like screaming down the hallway for help because they all ran off with the student nurse who was still like she fell hard.
Oh my God.
And just bang right in the middle of labor.
That's
So-
awful. So
Did you offer to help the doctor, or did you just like crack another beer open and be like,
Oh,
damn?
Dude, I was like, honestly, I was such an asshole. I was like, see, and y'all thought I was gonna faint. Like, I wasn't even concerned with her. I was just proud of myself for not being the one on the floor.
Winner.
meanwhile, he's dipping his chicken fried steak in the mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
taking his last bite.
That will go down as one of the most assholiest things I've ever done. Was eating that chicken fried steak in that.
Assholiest. That sounds sacrilegious yet religious. Oh, that's funny. Wow. Okay, I think that pretty much wraps up this week's Talkin Dads podcast.
Can I say one?
episode.
Can I say one thing before we leave, though? Just to
Yeah.
spark a small debate, so we can bring this into the next Talking Dads.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there are 10 actors named to replace Ben Affleck as Batman.
10?
10.
10.
Oh,
So
Wait, are they stopping this whole line of DC movies right now?
I,
And they're
I
rebooting
don't
it?
know,
I
but
heard that's
so
the rumors that they're going to reboot it again.
Oh,
yeah, the
Jesus.
Batman could be set outside the DCEU. So much like Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I heard about that.
So they have, and guys, I don't even know anybody. Maybe save one guy. So that's on the list. So first guy's Ryan Guzman. He's 30 years old. Other guy's Richard Madden. He's from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Nicholas Hoult, who played Beast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's
Jeremy
He
Irvine, who played in Warhorse. Young guy. Hunter Parrish, who is from Weeds and The Good Wife. Tyler Hoechlin. He was screen tested with Henry Cavill, I guess, as Superman. So
I'm just waiting for a Matt Damon.
Matt.
Wes Bentley, Jake Gyllenhaal.
no way it's either one of
Jake.
those.
No.
It'll never be either one of those.
Luke Evans.
No.
The fan favorite is Scott Adkins.
Who's that
And
again?
that's Scott Adkins. He rounds up the. So Scott Adkins has been rumored to be the Batman in the past. He's an excellent stunt choreographer and fighter.
So Scott Adkins. I don't think I know him.
I don't. There's a lot of guys. I mean, I kind of know on the fringe, but it's like I really don't know as they're But hey, look at what's his name who played Batman
They
first.
should just get Liev Schreiber to do it.
Nah. I Frankenstein. Is that who did? No, Liev Schreiber
No.
was the one who did.
He's Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
Ray Donovan.
Ray Donovan, but he also played
Sabretooth.
Sabretooth.
Yeah, that's
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah,
was
but
just
that movie
makes
didn't
sense.
happen.
Yeah,
He was
well,
Sabretooth.
he was, for
He
a
didn't have a
couple of.
standalone.
Wasn't that
Really
who played
bad.
Sabretooth in the original one? Was it some wrestler, right?
Tyler Maine.
That's
Oh,
I
that's
literally
it. Yep.
I literally just watched it yesterday with the kids.
That's
It is
crazy.
bad. It does not hold up at
The
all.
original X-Men? No, it does
Yeah,
not. It does not.
Well, when you think of the X-Men, I always go back to like the '90s cartoon. I think is when they came out. So
That's awesome, by the way.
that was really to me. That was sort of the definitive.
By the way,
X-Men.
I'm going to ruin the theme song for you. Whatever you want from me. Like, I'm Your Baby Tonight by Whitney Houston is the theme song from the X-Men from the 90s.
It is 100%, and that's my favorite Whitney Houston song, so I'm fine with that.
Whatever
All
you
right.
want from me.
Oh my God, is that what it is? Oh yeah, okay. So
It's
I'm
not,
down with it.
it's
That's-
not actually that. I
Yeah,
think
but
it's just
very similar.
yeah.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, I love the theme song. So, and you know,
That's
but I
awesome.
think they did it right. And I think the worst thing that they did was they cast for Apocalypse. I think the guy is actually really
Oscar
good
Isaac.
Good
Oscar
actor,
Isaac.
but I
Really?
think they did a horrible,
Poe Dameron,
horrible
isn't it?
job.
Yep, he's Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron.
He was the
plays a bunch
lead
of stuff.
in Ex Machina,
That's
which is
right.
an amazing movie.
That was
He's
fun.
coming out with another movie that's supposed to be a big film. But I thought that there were other people that could have done a better job.
as Apocalypse.
As the Apocalypse, because they look more like.
Well, I think it was just the makeup, right? A lot of people were saying, "What do you look like, Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers?" So it wasn't a Power Rangers guy grown up, but
To me, I mean, he looked like Robin Williams.
yeah, he did
more
a
than
little bit.
Apocalypse.
That would have been funny.
You know? It was
I'm
when
Apocalypse,
Robin
huh?
Williams was playing a woman. I mean, that's what he looked like.
I'm
He
so
wasn't
hairy.
really scared. You know. So,
Uh,
can anybody do a really good Apocalypse voice?
nah, not me.
Well,
What is it? What is a good Apocalypse voice?
one that sounds like Apocalypse. I mean,
What's yours? Let me hear yours.
I didn't necessarily say I had a good one on that. And,
I don't know.
So, but I'm just,
If you had to do an Apocalypse voice, right, now's the time to do it, right? Just test your voiceover skills.
all right, hold
Let me
on,
hear
hold
your Apocalypse.
on.
That's good so far. I like
I don't
it.
know. Oh, I am Apocalypse.
That is amazing. I like it. I like it.
Better than I would.
Thank you.
Mine would be like,
Thank you. You're probably standing in the room and basically like, holy shit, is that really Apocalypse?
yeah, that's what I'm Apocalypse. I was like,
Oh my children.
there you are.
Oh my- hey!
I am Apocalypse. Look out for my lips. Apocalypse. Yeah. Let me give you a big smooch on the cheek. Oh.
Didn't realize Apocalypse went that way, but that's okay.
That's what it made him sound like.
Sounds like
That's
a
what
fun
I.
guy.
That's what I imagined when Luke played Apocalypse.
Fun guy. I am not going to smite you, I'm going to kiss you.
I'm gonna lay one right on your cheeks. Pucker up.
You are.
I'm sitting right next to him. He's looking at me. It's
John,
just saying it.
I
I'm
want
like,
to
I
hear
don't know.
I want to hear your best
No.
Apocalypse. No, come on. Everybody's gonna
No.
do it. Lou did it.
No,
You gotta
I
do it.
Nope, not gonna get it.
You gotta do it, dude.
No.
Earl.
Anybody? Come on. Somebody.
come on.
I mean, Mike,
I'm thinking-
you have
I'm-
this booming
Lou
I'm
voice.
did
gonna
it.
do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm thinking.
Okay. All right. I'll go next.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I gotta do the same thing. Wait. What does Apocalypse
I
say?
don't even really know what
He doesn't say. That's the problem. Is he doesn't have a
Be one of
catchphrase.
my horsemen.
Yeah.
That was my Apocalypse.
horseman.
Yeah. Be one of my 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Doesn't he say something like, "Come, my children, you are my children,
You're all my
All
children.
my children.
all my children."
Yeah, all my children. That was my favorite.
Apocalypse. 487 Apocalypse quotes.
I just did Bane.
But this is
instead of
not.
Apocalypse.
Yeah,
This,
that
that's
was definitely-
You
TS.
got 487 apocalypses.
No, it's from.
Somebody
It's not.
shoot a man
Yeah.
for throwing him off the train.
I was wondering what
Wise old sayings.
Why does your apocalypse sound like Bane?
Or your body. Because that's all I can think of.
Oh, your body.
Or your
And then
body.
you may die.
All right, no. Here's the Apocalypse of old. You know, I mean, old from the 90s.
No. Give us something. Lou gave something.
Yeah. Well, perhaps I wasn't as good as I
I
thought.
am Apocalypse. I don't know. All I can think of is like a voice that is supposed to sound deep and menace. I don't know. I'm
Why does
just-
it gotta sound? He's Egyptian. Why would it sound?
He's
necessarily
Egyptian?
sound-
Oh, that's
Really?
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
10,000 years old. He's Egyptian.
He's like, come with me, Habibi.
Wow.
Damn.
What?
Oh, my
that
God.
means
I'm
loved
definitely
one,
not
right?
going now.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm good.
No. You know what it is? My sister-in-law and my sister-in-law and her family, they're Egyptian and Turkish. And the mother is Egyptian, and she's hilarious. She loves every time she sees me. She's like, "Habibi!" Like Merry Christmas, Habibi. Like, it's the funniest thing. That's the first thing that popped in my head when you said Egyptian. was my brother's mother-in-law. The sweetest person who is not Apocalypse.
Maybe she is.
He says, I am not malevolent. I simply am. I'm watching it right now.
Okay. I'm watching it right now.
Not a bad guy. I'm just really bad.
There you go. I like that, John.
That's a,
All right, Earl. You ready?
I'm a bad guy, but I'm not a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a line from
That's a
Wreck-It
lot
Ralph.
like Earl.
No. Let's see. Or what?
You could say, why don't you say, I'm not malevolent. I
Earl.
simply am.
Earlocalypse. Is that what we're saying?
Locos.
But I was-
Locos.
Like, as you were doing the voices, I was sitting here thinking about how often, like, how menacing we make villains. Like, they're always the big booming voice instead of just the, like, my voice.
Hey,
like,
lady,
you know-
I'm Apocalypse.
Hey, lady! Hey, lady! So, I am not malevolent.
Fear me! I'm gonna steal your body.
But I mean, don't they, like, in reality,
That's
don't all
true, though.
don't all real life villains sound kind of like screechy and whiny? Like, don't they all just, you know?
I thought about Mike.
It's more like, huh?
What?
Wait, like who? Give me an example.
Oh, I mean, like any of them, like Duterte, Hitler, like
yeah.
they're all kind of loud and screechy. So it'd be like something like "Ride my children," something like that.
Right. Right,
No.
my children.
I like that. Right, my children. That's good.
Well, yeah,
That's
it wouldn't necessarily be a big like voice.
That's true. That's true.
Well, it's interesting that I was watching.
Oh God, there he was. That was Apocalypse. That was a good impression.
Sounds like The Exorcist.
I was watching clips of Patton the other day. Remember Patton, George C. Scott playing? Patton, the real Patton, actually had a very high voice.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And in
Apparently
order
it did.
for him to actually get around the fact that he had a very high, almost effeminate voice, he would curse a lot.
Mhm.
He'd curse a lot.
Like Joe
So,
Pesci.
I don't know if Joe Pesci curses, but I'll take you for your word. But yeah, he would actually, that was his deal,
Huh. Do you think Abraham Lincoln sounded like Fourscore 7 years ago?
Apparently did
I
have
do.
a high voice.
He
Right.
did.
Yeah.
He did. He was another guy who had a high voice too.
That's
as a
that's
matter
what
of
I
fact.
that's why I thought of that. Interesting. Actually, yeah, you think about it. Who in power really has a booming, deep voice?
Obama. That was
No, I was
well,
about
he
to
has
say
a
that
deep
too,
voice,
but
it's
Obama doesn't have a
smooth.
deep voice.
His voice was smooth. No, it was deep, but it was smooth.
But
I think
all of us-
Reagan had a deeper voice, had more of a
And-
calming soothing
Tear
voice.
down that wall.
and Clinton had the low rumble.
You
Yes.
look at her, oh, like that.
How, how,
Let's put that
Yeah.
in.
Monica. Oh. That whole thing.
wow.
They all sound the same, like
I'm terrible at impressions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good.
I guess. Well, maybe
trying to
Arnold.
think.
Arnold was loud.
Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. I
think
lived
it's
you in
good.
California. Blah blah blah. Like
There you go. That's good. That's perfect.
that whole thing.
See, what y'all don't understand is he sent me a picture of that this morning. He's been waiting all day to do that impression.
Yeah.
Like he's been saving it.
No, I haven't been waiting all day. I do my impression every day. Ask John.
Yeah,
John and I used to
almost
sit
every
next to
time
each other
at
at the
least once.
office, and then we could just go back and forth because John's is pretty good too.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god, I'm gonna eat the energy crisis in California like the gap in my teeth. remember that
Yeah.
Conan one?
Like from Conan, it's like.
That was like one of the funniest. No,
That was
I'll digress.
hilarious. That was good.
Can we do a whole episode as each one of
Arnold?
us doing Arnold's
Hello.
Are
Welcome to the Talkin Dads podcast.
you talking
Can you
for
hear
5
me?
This
hours?
is episode nice and Fravni.
Can you hear me dancing?
Going to pump you up.
My little baby, I'm going to hold him in my arms or her in my arms. Cradle it. Love it. Tell it, you need to grow up faster. You're too small. I can't arm wrestle you yet. Play with me already. Girl! Ah!
Stop drinking milk all the time.
Yeah, I think this is the end of the Talkin Dads podcast for this episode.
For this episode, it might be the end of it. Period.
Yeah, we're gonna get maybe the last.
This is Apocalypse.
Yeah, Apocalypse. This is fantastic. Yeah, so this has been the talking about random stuff that's not really fatherhood because I'm trying to take my mind off being nervous as fuck because the baby's coming in about 5 weeks. Do
you think you're actually gonna make the 5 weeks?
I don't know. I have no way of telling or no way of knowing, right? It could happen at any time, right? That was the crunch time? It seriously could happen.
What does the doctor say? I mean, where are we? Did we talk about like size and weight? And
No, actually, that's what we can end on here. So the baby is about 17 inches long, 18 inches long now. And I think 6.7 pounds, 6.5 pounds, right around there.
Okay.
And like, if you look on the chart, they say it's like about the size of a lion cub. And you're like, well, that's an unfair comparison. Yeah. It's like a lion cub, and it's like, okay, yep. They start off like almost the same, but then we lose that battle.
Claws and all.
I like the fruit comparisons better because I know the fruit's never going to get any bigger and eat my face. So that's basically it. That's the Talkin Dads podcast. Thanks again for tuning into the Talkin Dads podcast. This is Mike
And John.
And Apocalypse.
Oh, that was great.
And this is Earl.
As they say in Apocalypse, I don't know.
Let's go, my children.
There it is. Thanks for tuning in.
Live, my children.